case moving ahead at the speed which it needs to move. We've tried to make the point. This is the most urgent legal situation that has ever faced a court in this country, and the state are seeking now to make a meal out of the application for leave for judicial repeal, which is a very minor process, very low threshold in the norm. We shouldn't even be here today. The judge should have given us permission immediately last week in view of the gravity of these matters and the urgency of these matters. But instead, we're being put now into a situation where there will be hearing after hearing after hearing. This is a deliberate strategy to frustrate the will of the people and the desire of the people for their freedom and for their sanity, and indeed for the restoration of the things that give them life, which are fresh air, sunshine, and each other's love. Which is being denied to many people in this country today. Many people. I barely can say it. I barely can say it, that there are people lying in beds in nursing homes today, left there by the appalling Minister for Health, neglected while he's harassing healthy, law-abiding citizens, left to die alone without the touch of their loved ones.
Shame on the criminals! Shame on the criminals! The courts are criminals!
The courts are criminals.
We want the criminals out of our courts!
We will fight this in whatever avenue, whatever forum they wish.
And we'll be by you.
And we will win.
We're here! And we will be here! We will be here!
This document, much as our governments have tried to destroy it, to sledgehammer it into oblivion, the parts that we need are still breathing.
How are the people? How are the people? How are the people?
And if these courts fail us, we will go to the European courts.
Yes.
And we will expose the corruption and the criminality of our government, our illegal non-government, caretaker government, caretaking government, carelessness, indifference. We will go to whatever courts are necessary to overturn this appalling legislation. This unprecedented imposition on the basic fundamental rights of human beings in Ireland.
Yes.
It is unheard of.
We will not accept this police state.
No.
A government owned, bought and paid for by outside interests, seeking to impose essentially a regime on this country where we will be obliged to be vaccinated if we want to move around our own country. This will not happen. This will not happen. This building is our building.
Yes.
It does not belong to the judge. It does not belong to Garda Síochána. It belongs to you and to us. I have said this many times. I will say it one more time in this place. When the judge walks onto the bench and we the people stand below in the well of the court, there is a moment when people are expected to bow. No! The judge bows! The judge bows to the people!
Yes, people first! They bow to us.
We have to take these buildings back.
Yes.
We have to take our country back.
Yes.
Otherwise, we and our children are doomed.
We will save our country.
Thank you.
I don't want any of you, thank you, John. I want none of you to go away from here today feeling any sense of despair or disillusionment with the outcome.
This has only made us want more.
Just hold on. The overriding emotion in that room there for the last hour was one of fear.
What a joke.
And myself. It was coming from the state side and it was coming from the bench.
Because they know their cost.
Because they knew that we were onto them.
Yes.
They were playing games with us, back and forth, pretending that we were idiots, trying to pull the wool over our eyes. But they know that we have the truth.
Yes!
And we reminded them many times in there today that they are accountable.
They're obligated
to the Irish people.
Yes!
They are paid by the Irish people. And what went on in there today was an attempt to raise costs. They want to bring in extra parties. They want to bring in the Shannon, and they want to add the Dole to the proceedings, and they want to add the Ceann Comhairle to the proceedings. Why? Deny, delay, obfuscate, up the cost. That's no problem. We will fight them to the death. Today, you are all leaders of the unfinished revolution.
Yes!
Yes! So you will go out today and you will challenge every member of this corrupt state that you will meet, especially those in the fluorescent jackets. And when they say to you, "Where are you going?" you will remind them of this book, and they have no authority to ask you where you are going. This is an invasion.
Stop the political prisoners!
This is an invasion of your right to privacy and many other fundamental freedoms. You will remind them, they will say to you, "Oh, we're following orders." And you will remind them of what happened to those after the Second World War who said they were just following orders.
Yes.
They were hanged. And the same people who say they are just following orders will be held to account.
Oh, yes.
When we take our country back, you take down their numbers and you remind them that we are developing a long list, including of the lady in there today who was on the bench. These people will be stripped of their pensions, they will be stripped of their perks, and they will be brought before our courts. People who today, because they feel fear, because they are traumatized, because they are frightened for their children, fearful of the corrupt organisation that is TUSLA, you stand here for them today.
Yes.
You are the greatest Irish men and women who will take back our Today is a fantastic day for our country. We must stand up to them in every single way. If you need access to healthcare, you demand it. If they try to put down COVID-19, you expose them, record them, put your videos up online. The state is terrified. There is no doubt about that.
They're all
they
going under.
want
We have them on the run now!
We have them on the run! We have them on the run! We have them on the run! We have them on the run!
If they get away with this, not only will they be, because they know that this brilliant constitution clearly states that there can never be mandatory vaccinations because we have bodily integrity thanks to this.
Thank you.
My body, my choice! again.
Of
And what
course
will
they
follow? Forced evictions. There are enough of us
Starvation.
here to defend any man or woman who is being thrown out unlawfully from his home. We are building
Like me.
a new citizens' army to take
Yes.
back It will not use violence, but the power of the people. The power of the people by gathering together now where we need support, where our citizens are being abused. There are enough numbers of us now to gather together to keep the corrupt people who call themselves police officers away from those citizens who are being attacked. We are building a new state. A state that will not be filled with the corruption that every institution of this deep state is.
Toxic
We
liars.
are taking back our country for once and for all.
I have felt for a long time that the end of this would come when these politicians overreach themselves. They have sold everything they can find to sell in our country.
Yeah, they have.
They have
since
sold its
1995.
environment, they have sold its
Barcelona.
principles, they have sold its...
They won't sell us, John!
They now want to sell its children! They will not sell its children to Bill Gates.
No way.
They will not sell our
Hands
children.
off our children!
We have our opportunity now because they have overreached themselves as we never dreamt they would. And they know it too.
Because they know they're caught.
They know it now.
Rapid.
They know it now. They will play it out, but we will catch them and we will wait. And it really doesn't matter what the judge in there says. You are the judges.
We matter! We matter!
And ultimately, our country will not be given to us by politicians or judges. It will be taken back by us.
We matter!